I knew that I would. I feel good. I knew that I would, yeah.
And I do feel good because I get to introduce someone who I have been a huge fan of my whole life. Walt Disney, the great philosopher, gave us two ideas that I'm going to bring together today. First was that success is built on the 4 C's. Success is about curiosity, confidence, courage, and constancy. He also shared that he'd much rather entertain people and hope they learn something than try to teach them something and hope they had a good time. And today's inductee into the Hall of Fame that I get to introduce, Martha Stewart, epitomizes both of those. She's been doing it for decades on television and print and digital. Her newest book, Living the Good Long Life, which she aptly named because she's had a great and long life, speaks to what she's been able to accomplish in her life. But also she has changed the world of television, and as a female leader, has changed the world and the opportunities for a lot of hosts that have come since her. I periodically witness her spot checkup. She's been to my home, she's come to my green room, I've been to hers. I see how she treats people and how she is meticulous about the subtle things she does, the decisions she makes, all the brains she has. She's in the details. But there are a few things that make Martha special. First, she's a philanthropic soul. She's been involved at numerous hospitals, including Mount Sinai. She's been in all kinds of charitable endeavors, keeping this planet cleaner. In fact, Snoop Dogg assures me this is not about magical brownies. Her passion for the environment goes far beyond that. Speaking of that, she is funny because she gets the joke. And that's the important part about what she represents as a New Jerseyite, because New Jersey's about that. It's about resilience. And Martha knows that the way life works, you always have to bring a plunger with you, and she has one here today. It's messy. Let's learn a little bit more about Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart is a world-famous businesswoman and media mogul. Born in Jersey City, she got her first modeling job at 15, and by the time she graduated from Nutley High School, she had appeared in television and print ads. Martha had a successful career on Wall Street prior to starting her own catering company, and became well known for her gourmet menus and creative presentations. Her first cookbook, Entertaining, became a bestseller and was quickly followed by many more. Martha became a household name, renowned for her expert lifestyle advice. In the early 90s, she introduced Martha Stewart Living. Martha's profile soon grew to include 6 magazines, popular Emmy Award-winning television programs, and hundreds of millions in annual retail sales. Today, the Martha Stewart empire continues to expand with new television shows, new product lines, and more books, 95 to date. She has inspired millions of people around the world to discover new ways of homekeeping. Tonight, we are proud to welcome her to our home, the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Please welcome my good friend and next inductee, Martha Stewart.
Well, I did not bring a plunger, but I did bring, Steve Jobs would be very upset that his iPad was called a plunger. Thank you all very much for bestowing on me the honor of induction into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. And congratulations, of course, to my fellow honorees. And thank you very much, Dr. Oz. Growing up in New Jersey in the small suburban town of Nutley, home of the Nutley Raiders, Hoffman LaRoche, IT&T, and Wise potato chips, it was a pleasure, a delight, and I've always remembered my youth with great fondness. I was born in 1941, the second of my parents' 6 kids, in Margaret Haig Hospital in New Jersey City, where my grandparents had settled with most of their close relatives after emigrating to the United States from Poland in the early years of the 20th century. Witchy Joe had a butcher shop right there in Jersey City. Witchy Mechu had a famous deli, a fabulous deli, with superlative potato salad and liverwurst sandwiches. And grandfather Henrik owned a prosperous tavern where he earned enough to pay for the college educations of his 3 kids, including my dad, Edward. And we just were offered that tavern. Somebody is selling it now, and I was just offered it, and I don't know if I'm going to buy it or not. My family moved to Elm Place in Nutley when I was about 3, And Dad immediately started his gardening projects, and Mom concentrated on fixing up the 3-bedroom house. It had an attic, it had a basement, and it had a large eat-in kitchen. And Dad put a little powder room, his powder room, right off the dining area of the sort of the kitchen nook, so we could watch him shave while we had breakfast. Up and down the street were similar families, most second generation, from Ireland, from Germany, from Poland, from England, Eastern Europe, and Italy. Next door lived Mr. and Mrs. Mouse. They were retired German bakers, and that's where I got my first really serious baking lessons, right in a flour-dusted basement where they baked each and every day for the whole street. And on our other side were the Allegris, and I learned how to make that delicious red meat sauce on Saturdays, which Mrs. Allegri served to her family with noodles on Sunday. I babysat for the Yankees. Yogi Berra was my favorite client. His kids were very nice. And we also babysat for Gil McDougall and for Mickey Mantle and for a few other Yankees. They all lived here and there near the George Washington Bridge, so they could get to Yankee Stadium easily. I entertained children at their birthday parties. When their mothers were just too tired from raising the other kids to concentrate on another birthday party. On weekends, we went fishing in the rivers close to home for trout, and we went to the ocean to fish for bluefish, mackerel, and for flounder. On the weekends, I actually did something that's right now really turns my stomach, but we trapped. We trapped muskrat. And I was the best skinner, and so I skinned the muskrats, and my brother stretched the skins, and we sold them to Sears Roebuck for $7 for ones with a little nick in them and $12 for the perfect skins. And the mothers all wore the muskrat coats. My favorite outings, of course, were to Ringo's, New Jersey, to visit cousins and their dairy farm, or to Long Island to visit our other cousins, the Marcos, in a little town on the North Shore. We were happy, we were busy, and very, very involved with family and friends, and we knew most everything that was going on the street. It was our life, and it was a little microcosmic glimpse into what would be my life in the future. That microcosmic life of homekeeping, of gardening, of entertaining, grew into my beautiful business, Martha Stewart Living on the Media, years later. And we were very encouraged to befriend our teachers, to participate in the Girl Scouts and school theaters and school plays and school clubs. We were encouraged to make our way, as we wanted to make it without interference of Instagram and Pinterest and the internet, for heaven's sake. And we did a lot of reading. By the time I got to college, I had already modeled quite a bit in New York City, acted in TV commercials. And I and all those jobs paid for my college education at Barnard College in New York City. And I commuted for the first year on the number 13 bus right to Port Authority, and then the number 7 IRT train up to Columbia. And I didn't mind any of that. It was so much a part of everyday living. My curiosity was very evident then, and it helped me learn so much from the best by watching and learning and trying. I entered Barnard College at 18, ready to learn so much more, and by 19, I had learned enough to get married and get off that number 13 bus, and we had an amazing, amazing life pursuing our American dream. But I will always thank New Jersey for helping me focus in such interesting subjects that have proved limitless in the interest and scope for me and my business. And I thank you so very much for honoring me today.
I feel good. I knew that I would.